Yo, what's going on, guys? Year 3 of my What to Expect from the Charlotte Hornets NBA season / preview of this team. Okay, third year doing it, just hit 8,000, about on the way to 10,000. Like and subscribe for 150 videos a month, 5 a day. All right, let's get right into today's video and let's talk about it. So, I do think everything about this team is kind of interesting on the whole. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, quite frank. I love LaMelo Ball. I want LaMelo Ball to succeed, and I think. At the very least, okay. I have to say this before we continue. Hiring Steve Clifford, I know we fired James Borrego for defense, but hiring Steve Clifford, I know they didn't want to hire Steve Clifford. They wanted Kenny Atkinson. That shit hit the fan. Oh, and I knew Steve Clifford. You guys know I'm an Orlando Magic fan. We got a Orlando Magic little poster right here, and Steve Clifford took us to the playoffs and, coached defense, and this team's going to be better defensively. But I really hope this move doesn't stagnate the franchise. And with that being said, I think this is a part. First off, we have to mention this. Will Miles Bridges play for the Charlotte Hornets this season? As you guys know, I really don't like talking about DV. I don't really like talking about anything negative. I'm an optimistic guy. There's enough negative and bad things in the world that I don't like shining light on anything bad, really, unless it needs to be addressed. And with Miles Bridges, as you guys know, he's facing 1 felony count of injuring a child's parent and 2 felony counts of child abuse this summer. He pled not guilty. His preliminary hearings have been postponed multiple times, with the next one scheduled September 29th. He's a restricted free agent, but has not yet signed the Hornets' $7.9 million qualifying offer. If he signs, the Hornets could suspend him until there's more clarity on the criminal charges, writes Joe Vardon of The Athletic. And we're going to go with the assumption that he's suspended for the season right now. If Ime Udoka is being suspended, I don't even know. I want to hear your thoughts, what's going to happen there, but we're just going to go with he's not currently on the roster, and we're going to speculate this team without him on the roster, and I apologize if you guys don't agree with that. This team only has one guy on a two-way. It's Bryce McGowens, and so besides that, they have a bunch of guys on what one would say training camp deals with Isaiah Whaley, Jalen Sims, Anthony Durocher out of Florida, Jalen Crutcher out of Dayton. Okay, those guys are all on training camp deals. So, yeah, they might make the team. But the roster is Gordon Hayward, Mason Plumlee, Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier. They also have Dennis Smith Jr., who they recently signed as their backup point guard, Cody Martin, Jalen McDaniels, the brother of Jaden McDaniels, PJ Washington, LaMelo Ball, Nick Richards, James Bouknight, Kai Jones, JT Thor. And if you just look at there, okay, this is a team that is already, I believe, 14 players deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep, 14 players deep. So Jalen Crutcher, Anthony Durocher, Jalen Sims, and Isaiah Whaley are competing for one roster spot and one two-way spot. So there's one two-way spot up for grabs, and there's one roster spot open. So those 4 guys are competing for 2 roster spots technically, because you can have 17 players with 2 of them being on two ways. And with that being said, when I look at this, the starting lineup of right now, I know one person's going to say that lost roster space could be for Miles Bridges. This is unknown. So Miles Bridges, that lost roster space is for him. Those 4 players are probably competing for the two ways. But if our man Miles Bridges is suspended for the full year, I expect LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, and Mason Plumlee to start the season as the starters. Hopefully by the end of the season, Mark Williams is the starting center, with the center rotation probably being Mason Plumlee, Nick Richards, and Mark Williams, with either JT Thor, Kai Jones, or PJ Washington playing small ball 5. I expect PJ Washington. We do like to see a jump of Kai Jones or JT Thor this coming season. I think, look, Kai Jones, I saw him play in person at the University of Texas. He came and played us at Kansas, and he only played 3 minutes a night in 21 games. Really, we did not get to see shit from him, and that could be, it's crazy to think about this. Kai Jones only played 31 games and 3 minutes a night, while our man, 21 games, not 31, while JT Thor played more. He played 8 minutes a night in 33 games. So it's unreal to think about the fact that our man JT Thor played more, and he was a second round pick, while Kai Jones was a first round pick. Not by a little. He was the 19th pick of the draft, okay? It wasn't like he was the bottom. So hopefully we can see some more Kai Jones and JT Thor and, of course, James Bouknight. As Kai Jones, he for the Greensboro, Swarm averaged 18 and 10.5, and was shooting 62.2% from the field, 2.5 blocks, about 1.5 steals. He was pretty freaking impressive there. While you had our man JT Thor out there averaging 12 points a night and 6 rebounds in only 7 games for the Greensboro. So it's definitely interesting to see the whole situation as a whole. And I do believe, correct me if I'm right, Kai Jones struggled with some injuries. So with the current roster for next year, I think their 5-man rotation, if we don't include Miles Bridges, is going to be LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, Mason Plumlee as the starting lineup, with, like I said, Mark Williams by the end of the season replacing Mason Plumlee. The first 3 guys off the bench, I think, are Cody Martin, Kelly Oubre, and Jalen McDaniels as their 8-man rotation, with the 9th guy off the bench being probably Dennis Smith Jr. as the backup point guard, with the 10th guy being James Bouknight. We do hope James Bouknight does actually. So it was a really rough year for all the rookies of the Charlotte Hornets, and I do kind of blame, in my opinion, this is all of this is James Borrego's fault. He did a terrible job at developing these guys. It seems like he just kind of disregarded them. And I think what you need to look at is with James Bouknight, his best month was in December. He had a 9-game stretch where he was shooting almost 3 threes a game at 44%, averaging 7 points, about an assist a game, 3 rebounds, nothing special, in 14 minutes a night. Okay, 13 minutes a night, actually. And that was his best month, okay, in December, 9 games. And if you can do that, I think that could be something beneficial. I think James Bouknight's arguably the 10th guy in the rotation, with the bottom of the roster being most likely JT Thor, Kai Jones, Nick Richards, okay, making up the 11th, 12th, and 13th guy. And then 14th guy, I guess, it's hard to think. I guess I would honestly put the 11th guy being Mark Williams, 12th guy Kai Jones, 13th guy JT Thor, 14th guy Nick Richards, with the 10th guy being James Bouknight. Yeah, I think James Bouknight, of course, is going to be the 10th guy, because the main rotation off the bench is Cody Martin, Kelly Oubre, and Jalen McDaniels. Obviously, if Miles Bridges is back, I think Gordon Hayward's their 6th man, and then this team's a lot better. I think right now, without Miles Bridges, this team is a borderline play-in team, okay? Borderline play-in team. If Miles Bridges comes back and he does play the full season, I think this team is still at least a play-in team. Maybe they could sneak it into the 6th or 7th team, but it's just very, very hard to talk about this team because there is a lot of unknowns. And obviously, that's never something somebody wants to do. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, so it's just a hard situation, and definitely something I want to hear your guys' opinions on. But yeah, that's it. I think, like I said, LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, Mason Plumlee to start the season will be the starting lineup if Miles Bridges is suspended for the full season. By the end of the year, I expect Mark Williams to be there. Like I said, 8-man rotation, most likely of 9-man rotation. LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, Mason Plumlee, with most likely Dennis Smith Jr., Cody Martin, Kelly Oubre, Jalen McDaniels, James Bouknight probably being the 11-guy rotation if they even went that deep, and Nick Richards and Mark Williams being the backup center, unless JT Thor or Kai Jones can show that, but they're more looking like they're power forwards. But yeah, that's basically it for me. I hope you guys do enjoy today's video. Hit that up, and yeah, so that's basically it. I hope you guys are, having a good one. So, peace.